Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to the online session and hopefully last session of RA. Before we start, I want to make some reminders. So, for direct and new comments, we will continue to use uh, parliamentarian system, but for all of the other comments, we are going to use the Zoom chat. So I just shared all of the abbreviations. So for example, for technical, you can put T, or like for clarification, you can put C. So if you have any other comments and direct or new comments, you can put them through the Zoom chat. And while we were voting, so it will go like this. So I will, for example, say all votes for. Then I will put like dashes like this. Then you will put I like this. Then I will go all those, for example, against. Then I will put dashes again like this. Then you can put I, or when I say all of those who abstain, again, I will put dashes. Then you can put I. So it's important that you wait for those dashes to come up before you vote. And it is important that you do not wait for others to vote. Also, one person from each MR should vote. So if you have multiple official delegates, I think you should communicate who will vote. Then we will have two votes from one MR. Then we have to redo the voting again. So yeah, I believe that's all. Like, do we have any other reminders? Or... No.
No, it should
Okay.
be it.
So I think we can start with the roll call.
Yes.
So for the roll call, it's the same procedure. We will put dashes, then you can put I for your MO. Okay, now we can start with the roll call.
Thank you, Azra. Okay, AFIP Austria, CPSA Croatia, CCPSA Czech Republic, PIPSA Finland, ANEP France, PPHD Germany, ASIP Switzerland, KNP the Netherlands, SOP Denmark, NOPSA Norway, SNAP Sweden, PPSA Poland, APIF Portugal, FESFA Romania, NEPSA Serbia, SPSA Slovakia, the Schiffers Slovenia, FEF Spain, TPAYC Turkey, and BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Okay, please scrutineers count the votes. I am waiting just for the scrutineers to recount. Okay, we have 12 full members present and voting. Thank you.
Okay, now we will continue with the resume signing orders. Do I have a proposer? Proposed by KNPC Netherlands. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by APF Portugal. All of those against. All of those for. Mm. Okay, so we have one more missing. We don't have any abstentions for this because this is a procedural motion. So we have to redo the voting. So please do not forget to vote. So I will uh re-announce. So all of those against, all those in for. Okay. Now the suspend standing orders are open. So we will continue with the next motion, which reads, this is the 15th European Regional Assembly mandates the European Regional Working Group to ensure that all video content produced to be shared on social media or the official website includes closed captions. This motion shall be achieved continuously and not be reviewed. Now I will give the floor to proposer for their motivation speech.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Polly, BPSA, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We, the BPSA, have raised this motion to promote accessibility to online content produced by the EuRA Regional Working Group to be shared with members. Closed captions are an amazing tool and very easy and accessible to use for the social media team. What closed captions do is they're not simply subtitles, but they also capture and record all meaningful sound, including bells, music, and whatnot. This is also really useful for members who might be viewing our content for who English isn't their first language, and they might benefit from these closed captions. And we don't expect that this will cause any significant increase in the workload of the media team, because there's software that can do this for them, and a lot of it is available without charge. That is everything from me. Thank you so much.
ETPA, I see you have the floor for your secondary speech.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Dilan TPAYC Türkiye. As TPAYC, we definitely agreed. This is simple but highly impactful step toward truly inclusive IPSF Europe. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I open the floor for discussion. Ms. Lee Kevan Megan, your secretary.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Lieke, IPSF EuRA Secretary. So just a small amendment I would like to propose is to change the wording to IPSF EuRA social media channels or website, because it's more consistent with the language we use. So if the proposer and seconder can let me know if that's okay, I will amend it for you.
The proposer and seconder agrees. So, Nick, if you can make the amendment, then I can read the motion again. Okay, so this is the 50th. So new motion, amended motion raises the 15th European Regional Assembly, mandates the European Regional Working Group to ensure that all video content produced to be shared on the IPSF Bureau social media channels or this website includes closed captions. This motion shall be achieved continuously and shall not be reviewed. I open the floor for discussion. We have a new comment from BPHD Germany.
Yes, thank you for the floor. Omid, BPHD Germany. We welcome this motion. We think it's a great addition to increase inclusivity in our content. We were wondering, however, as the motion is written right now, it would implicate that we would always have to have closed captions, but not necessarily have subtitles. Would it make sense to bind this motion to subtitles, as we believe not all content produced includes subtitles to begin with? Thank you.
Direct from BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Thank you for the floor, Polly, BPSA, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The reason we've specifically suggested closed captions is that both includes subtitles and notation of any meaningful sound. So it would, if there is no other meaningful sound, just appear like subtitles, but if there is other sound to record, then that would be included. Thank you.
I see none. Therefore, I close the floor for discussion. Now we can proceed to voting for the motion, which raises the 15th European Regional Assembly mandates the European Regional Working Group to ensure that all video content produced to be shared on the IPSF Bureau social media channels or the website includes closed captions. This motion shall be achieved continuously and not be reviewed. So all of those against. All those who abstain. All those who are in for. Okay, with 0 votes against, 0 votes abstained, 12 votes for, motion carried unanimously. Now we can continue with the next motion. Okay. Motion raises the 15th European Regional Assembly mandates Region Projects Officer and Region Project Subcommittee to develop an accredited components of the professional development portfolio that can be delivered over 48-hour window and is recommended to be offered annually. This accelerated program should include first aid, pediatric first aid, and life support, and a mental health first aid, a course on the basics of international sign language with a focus on medical science could also be considered. Existing IPSF programs such as Leaders in Training could be incorporated into an extended version of the accelerated program. Furthermore, the European Regional Office should support the application of any member organization that applies to get this program recognized as professional development by their national designation authority. This motion shall be achieved by the 16th European Regional Assembly and shall be reviewed at the 16th European Regional Assembly. Now I give the floor to the proposer for their motivating speech.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Polly, BPSA, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We, the BPSA, have proposed this motion and this new introduction to the training that we offer to support work already done by the regional working group to promote the role of pharmacists within humanitarian aid. A lot of the recommendations we've made here are lifted from the policy resolution on the role of pharmacists in humanitarian aid, and specifically providing sufficient training. What this training coming from IPSF would do is it would standardize it across the board. So all pharmacy students who are accessing this would be receiving the same training. And it would also make it accessible to graduate members who are 1 year out from graduation who wouldn't benefit if we were instead to action this through our universities in our respective countries. This, however, training is not only specific to pharmacists who want to work in humanitarian aid. It is becoming first aid is becoming an increasingly necessary skill in community pharmacy and in pharmacists who wish to take on leadership roles. We welcome any questions or comments on this motion. Thank you so much.
Seconder for their speech.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Dilan TPAYC Türkiye. As TPAYC Türkiye, we agreed. We believe that an accredited program covering the practical skills like first aid, mental health first aid, and sign language would make the professional development portfolio more valuable and relevant for the pharmacy students and the recent graduates. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I open the floor for discussion. A new comment from APEF Portugal.
Margarida, APEF Portugal. Thank you, Chair, for the floor. I'd just like to share the views of APEF in this motion. We believe this is an important topic. We particularly appreciate the inclusion of mental health, first aid, and sign language training because it's not something that we currently have in our curricula. However, we don't believe this should become a professional development initiative. We think that developing and maintaining an accredited program of this scale would require a significant investment of IPSF EuRA's time and resources, which we don't consider to be a priority in these molds. Furthermore, we believe that the professional development portfolio is already overloaded and should focus on strengthening and improving and maximizing the impact of its existing initiatives rather than creating new ones. Also, in our view, most countries already have established pathways for obtaining first aid certification that's outside of IPSF. We believe that this topic would have greater impact if approached as, for example, the development of a toolkit advocating for the inclusion of first aid, mental health first aid, and basic medical sign language training within the pharmacy curricula. And for these reasons, we will be voting against this motion. Thank you.
Coming from BPHD Germany.
Thank you for the. Do we go to the direct first or?
Sorry. Direct comment from BPHD United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Thank you for the floor, Chair. Poly BPSA, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I appreciate any comments that have been made on this motion so far. The reason that we've proposed this to go through IPSF is because even though some nations do have this in place, a lot of member organizations don't yet have access to it. Furthermore, having it included as part of the professional development portfolio would standardize it so that all future pharmacists are receiving the same training to the same quality level that IPSF provides. And it also shows strong support and provides a framework for organizations to eventually adopt. Thank you.
A new comment from BPHD Germany.
Thank you for the floor. Omid, BPHD Germany. We also want to thank you for this motion. We get the vision that you have with this motion, but we have to agree here with APEF Portugal. We see this as a not very well timed as of right now to include this in the PD portfolio because the PD portfolio is looking at restructuring and perhaps changing its offers. And making such a strict addition of content and mandating it through a motion could perhaps prove very difficult for the PD portfolio as such. In addition to what App of Portugal has already mentioned, we are also not in favor of this motion as of right now. Thank you.
Direct from BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Polly BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Thank you to everyone who's raised comments so far to express why they're uncertain about this motion. Would there be a possibility to get I don't know how to phrase this, unofficial opinion on whether changing to the wording to recommend rather than mandate be more amenable to the official delegates here? That's something that can be done. Thank you.
So maybe we can do green light and red light again. So I can put the dashes and you can put I or N if you agree with the proposal or not. So if you agree with the proposal, you can put N. If you can put I. If you do not agree, you can put N. Yeah, yeah, I think we mostly have red lights for this proposal. And now I have a new comment from Anne France.
Emily, Annette France, thank you for the floor. We think that adding a course on first aids is a great idea, but I would like to ask the RPO, do you think that it's something that is feasible to do or not? Thank you.
Tarek from EuRA RPO.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Pavla, IPSF EuRA RPO. So just a technical. Okay. So firstly, I'm thinking about should this program be included into soft skills or hard skills? Because for me, it seems like a soft skills training. However, I think that we can be strict with the to mandate the whole region to organize the soft skills or hard skills event, because professional development portfolio offer many opportunities. And currently we are struggling with number of participants, as we mentioned during the RA, which means that we should be really strictly with this, with the number of events. However, what I'm thinking now that you can also propose this motion to the GA, because there is much more possibility to be included into the global PD team. That is just my opinion, than to mandate to regional office to do something like this. Because if we offer this recommendation to the global team, it can also be organized with a collaboration with public health. And I think that in that case, it will be more feasible. So maybe the better option is to propose this motion to the GA, because professional development is also searching for new type of projects, and this can be a form of new project. Thank you.
Any comment from the KNPSV, the Netherlands?
Thank you for the floor, Marlon, KPC Netherlands. So yeah, we basically agree with all the points that have been previously made. In particular with the points made by the RPO, Mr. Pavle. We were also going to suggest to take it up to global or expand the timeline because as of right now, we do feel like this would be a little bit too ambitious for the current status of things. But if you would take it to global so that the workload could be divided, that would be a better alternative, we think. Thank you.
Comment from IPSF president.
Thank you for the floor, Chair Manchu, IPSF President. I'm speaking on behalf of IPSF President and IPSF governance, if this is possible. So first of all, I would like to thank the proposer for this motion. Both have provided a very solid reasons and a very good reasoning on what is missing within IPSF or the work that we could do more. However, I would like to raise a point regarding the accreditation aspect of the proposal. As an international professional federation or student federation, we have to be careful not to first take a look at IPSF accreditation as internationally recognized accreditation. By all means, most of the accreditation we provide are soft skills. And because this doesn't require national authority to make a decision, and therefore leaders in training, including as well as trainers development camp that we have provide only soft skill trainings that are very broadly trained across the world with a topic like, you know, communication, time management. However, when it comes to when it comes to the hard skills training, including pharmacy education, with the particular of our curriculum, as well as other professionally trained that would be recognized, including first aid or vice versa, there might be some concerns that I would like to raise that with this regard, some countries might not recognize the certificate on hard skill training, in particular first aid training, cross-regional, like across borders, which means this may be something that instead of taking a look at the regional office, would it be possible for the member organization to somehow take a look at this and come up with the solution from within the country to maybe maximize this opportunity from both the organization upward to IPSF, and from IPSF side, there's a chance that this could also be taking in a look as well. But from my end as IPSF governance, I would like to ensure that IPSF accreditation can only be used within IPSF. By all means, if there's a situation where you have to use the hard skills outside of IPSF scope, there might be some other frameworks that we have to consider, for instance, legal framework, authoritative framework, and also how are we going to be able to use this accreditation in the future. And just to ensure you, we are working on this on IPSF Global, but only starting the baby step of our curriculum and how pharmacists can work across borders, and not in particular this training on first aid yet, but definitely it can be the work done through 5 years, 10 years, if this is going to be passed on to the next generation. Thank you so much for the floor.
A new comment from BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Polly, BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We really appreciate all the comments that have been given to provide context as to the feasibility of this motion. We were hoping for a little bit of clarification. There was a suggestion made that we propose this to be taken to World Congress. Would other aspects of this need to be removed to make it a little bit more feasible, specifically relating to the accreditation element? Could we have a little bit of time to draft an amendment in line with everything that's been recommended? Would that be okay, please?
Yeah, you can have 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Point of information from Motions Committee.
Tiasha, Motions Committee. If you decide you want to bring this to the General Assembly, you can still drop the motion and then propose it at the GA, and then you have plenty of time to come up with the amendments that you wish to propose. Thank you.
Comment from BPS Yönetim of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Thank you for the floor, Chair Polly, BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We have passed on an amendment to the EuRA Secretary. The reason we are hoping to pass a motion here for something to be proposed at GA is that unfortunately the BPSA will not have a representative at World Congress this year. Thank you for your patience with us. Do I need to verbally say the amendment? Yes. This, the 15th IPSF European Regional Assembly, will propose the following motion to the 72nd IPSF General Assembly. This, the 72nd IPSF General Assembly, oh, I've lost my place. Recommends the Regional Products Officer and Regional Product Subcommittee. Could I clarify?
Yeah.
What would be the IPSF level equivalent of the EuRA's Regional Project Subcommittee and the Public Health portfolio, so we can amend this in line with Mr. Padley's recommendation?
Yeah. As the new comment from the KMPS read in Netherlands, it can be the professional development portfolio.
Thank you so much. This, the 15th IPSF European Regional Assembly, will propose the following motion to the 72nd IPSF General Assembly. This, the 72nd IPSF General Assembly, mandates the chairperson of professional development to recommend the chairperson of professional development to develop an accredited component of the professional development portfolio that can be delivered over a 48-hour window, and is recommended to be offered annually. This accredited program,
We have a technical.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's dropped.
Sorry. So you can continue.
The amendment reads, this, the 15th IPSF European Regional Assembly, will propose the following motion to the 72nd IPSF General Assembly. This, the 72nd IPSF General Assembly, mandates the chairperson of professional development recommends the chairperson of the professional development portfolio to develop a component of the professional development portfolio that can be delivered over a 48-hour window and is recommended to be offered annually. This program should include first aid, pediatric first aid, and life support, and mental health first aid. A course on the basics of international sign language of focus and medical science could also be considered. Existing IPSF programs such as leaders in training could be incorporated into an extended version of this accredited program. This motion shall be achieved by the 73rd IPSF General Assembly and shall be reviewed at the 73rd IPSF General Assembly. Is that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Vicky, can you clarify, it is updated on the parliamentarian, right? Yeah, okay. Perfect. And now I open the floor for discussion for the new amendment. Yeah, new comment from KPSV the Netherlands. Point of order from Ms. Lieke van Meegen.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Lieke, IPSF EuRA Secretary. Can the seconder please confirm if they are in agreement with the amendment? Thank you.
Seconder agrees. New comment from the KPSV the Netherlands.
Thank you, Marlon, KPC the Netherlands. So first of all, thank you for taking our feedback into consideration and amending the motion to have this form. We were wondering if because it would take like a considerable amount of time, if it would be possible and acceptable to the proposer and seconder to make the timeline a little bit more broader and extend it to the 74th IPSF General Assembly. Because we do think that the effort that needs to be put into this should not be rushed, so that it can be reviewed well enough, and the final product can be to the best of what it can be. Thank you.
Okay, so do you have new amendments to the motion? Yeah, direct from BPSA, United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland.
Polly, BPSA, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Thank you for that comment. This sounds like a reasonable amendment, and I am happy to propose that we change the 73rd IPSF General Assembly to the 74th. Does my seconder agree?
Then
thank you.
So I need if you can update on the parliamentarian. So new motion reads, this is the 15th European General Assembly will propose the following motion to 72nd IPSF General Assembly. This is the technical from KPSV the Netherlands.
Thank you, Marlon, KPC the Netherlands. Should the second 73rd also be changed?
Yeah. And so the new motion reads the 15th European Regional Assembly will propose the following motion to 72nd IPSF General Assembly. This is 72nd IPSF General Assembly recommends the chairperson of profession development to develop a component of the profession development portfolio that can be delivered over 48-hour window and is recommended to offer it annually. This program should include first aid, pediatric first aid, life support, and a mental health first aid, a course on the basics of international sign language with focus on medical science that can be considered. Existing IPSF programs such as leaders and training could be incorporated the extended version of this program. This motion shall be achieved by the 74th IPSF General Assembly and shall be reviewed at the 74th IPSF General Assembly. Do I have any new comments? I see none. New comment from APF Portugal.
Margarida APF Portugal, thank you, Chair, for the floor, and sorry for taking so long in putting the point. We'd like to ask if it would be possible to include a sentence for a report, for an intermediary report to be released by the 71st GA, just to make sure that, as King PSV mentioned, the work isn't rushed and pushed to the mandate after the next one.
Direct from BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Polly, BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Thank you so much for that comment. That feels like a very reasonable amendment that I am happy to make. Thank you.
So the seconder also agrees. Can you propose as a change to the motion, like which wording to add?
Could we have please 2 minutes of interdelegation time to decide on the wording?
Yes.
Thank you.
And new comment from APF Portugal.
Margarida PF Portugal. I believe that this was the previous point, unless I put another one by accident.
Now the amended motion reads: "This is the 15th European Regional Assembly will propose the following motion to 72nd IPSF General Assembly. This is the 72nd IPSF General Assembly recommends the chairperson of professional development to develop component of the professional development portfolio that can be delivered over 48-hour window and is recommended to be offered annually. This program should include first aid, pediatric aid, and life support and mental health first aid. A course on the basics of international sign language with focus on the medical science could also be considered. Existing IPSF programs such as leaders in training could be incorporated into extended version of this program. An intermediate report should be published by the chairperson of professional development for the review at the 73rd IPSF General Assembly. This motion shall be achieved by the 74th IPSF General Assembly and shall be reviewed at the 74th IPSF General Assembly." Do I have any new comments? I see none. Therefore, I close the floor for discussion. Now we can proceed with the voting for the motion, which reads: "The 15th European Regional Assembly will propose the following motion to 72nd IPSF General Assembly. This is the 72nd IPSF General Assembly recommends the chairperson of professional development to develop a component of the professional development portfolio that can be delivered over a 48-hour window and is recommended to be offered annually. This program should include first aid, pediatric first aid, and life support, and a mental health first aid. A course on the basics of international sign language with a focus on medical science could also be considered. Existing IPSF programs such as leaders in training could be incorporated in the extended version of this program. An intermediary report should be published by the chairperson of professional development for the review at the 73rd IPSF General Assembly. This motion shall be achieved by the 74th IPSF General Assembly and shall be reviewed at the 74th IPSF General Assembly." All of those against? You should put I, not N, so I will redo the counting. So all of those against? All those who abstain? All those who are in favor? With 2 votes against, 2 votes abstain, 10 votes for, motion is carried. Now we can move on to the next motion. This is the 15th European Regional Assembly proposed to amend the following motions from the IPSF EuRA Motions and Force and Working Statements 2025-26, motion about more detailed EuRA financial documents, motion about updating IPSF EuRA position guideline, motion about IPSF EuRA team meeting, motion about IPSF EuRA newsletter, motion about policy and advocacy campaign, motion to archive all the event-related receipts and invoices of EuRAs, and motion about the new environmental updates template. Now I will give the floor to Ms. Lika van Meegen for explain the motivations, and just a second to share my screen.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Lika, IPSF EuRA Secretary. So I hope most of you have went through the documents, but we will just show them on the screen. And I think the easiest way is that we ask if anyone has a comment per amendment instead of just so that we have like a more structured way of going through it. So if we can go to the first one, I guess. So please raise a comment if you like, yeah. If you have any questions about the amendments, please raise a comment. I see.
Yeah,
I think
new
there's a new
comment.
comment.
New comment from Campaign Sweden, Netherlands.
Thank you, Marlon, KPC in the Netherlands. So we would like to raise a comment about the motion to archive all event-related receipts and invoices of yours, which was proposed at the 12th European Regional Assembly.
Sorry for the technical.
I think if you scroll down a little,
Okay.
it's there.
So, so ah, yeah,
Yes.
good. Just
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to scroll, but I'm having a technical issue. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So yeah, this is the motion.
Thank you. So we would like to discuss the motion to achieve all event-related receipts and invoice of yours. So in this motion, amendments was made to not have the IPSF treasurer have constant access to the receipts and invoices, but only have so on request. But we would like to highlight Article 14.4.6 of the domestic rules, which says, to paraphrase it a little bit because I don't know it by heart, that the IPSF treasurer should have insight into the financials of IPSF events at all stages of the event. So if permission to review the statements and documentation would have to be requested, this could not be fulfilled. And also because this article already states that access should be granted to the IPSF treasurer throughout all stages, we think this motion of force might be redundant as a whole. So maybe could be removed in its entirety. But we don't we also want to ask the RWG how they feel about that. Thank you.
Thank you for the comments. I will need a minute to discuss this with RWG. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. As Region Working Group, we also agree to remove the motion entirely. Do we have any other new comments? Yeah, technical from... No, new comment from EuRA Secretary.
Lika IPSF, thank you, Chair, for the floor. Lika IPSF, EuRA Secretary. So there are two motions on this list that are in orange because we haven't decided if we should amend them or delete them or leave them on the motions on force. So those we definitely have to discuss and get your opinions on. So the first one is about external representation report. So that's what's on the screen now. And we would like to know your opinion because it's quite an administrative burden for the RWG to write reports after every event they attend. And it's also, it hasn't been done for the past few mandates. So either we need to like decide collectively that we will keep it on the list, and then I will make sure that the next RWG continues like doing it, or we amend it or remove remove it. So please let us know your opinions.
New comment
Yeah.
from APEP Portugal.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Margarida of Portugal. We agree that this motion could be removed from the motions in force. We agree that it's an extra burden for the RWG and it's not really necessary right now.
Do we have any other new comments? Your new comment from BPS United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Polly, thank you for the chair, Polly, BPSA. Thank you. Thank you for the floor. Polly, BPSA, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern. We agree with everything that's been said about this being an additional burden for the RWG. We were wondering whether there would be the possibility to amend this to produce one singular report at the end of the mandate that covers events that have been attended by the RWG. Thank you.
Thank you for the comments. I will need a minute to discuss this with Regional Working Group. Azra, chairperson of EuRA. So as discussed with the Regional Working Group, we do not think this is necessary to add because we think this is an extra administrative burden. Also, we have bi-monthly updates, where we explain our external representation. So it's already been explained through the explained to the CPs and SCOs. Thank you. Do we have any other new comments? Yeah, new comment from the EuRA Secretary.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Lika IPSF, EuRA Secretary. So since we're hearing no disagreements, I will add the motion to the motion that will come after this one to like remove some motions. And then we have a second one that's in orange. So this one is about the funds of the IPSF Euro Regional Working Group. But I read back in the minutes and it was introduced to provide guidance on like using unforeseen income. However, we already have authority as a regional working group together with the treasurer to make these decisions. So we don't really need this motion to give us that power. So therefore it can be removed. If you guys agree with that, then I will also add it to the motion about removing motions on force. And then we should be done.
If you agree, you can also use the like this this so we can also proceed faster as like green light, red light process. Or if you have new comments, you can also put them to the parliamentarian. I see no new comments. Therefore, I am closing the floor for discussion. Now we can proceed to voting for the motion, which is the 15th European Regional Assembly to amend the following motions from the IPSF Euro Motions and Force and Working Statements 2025-26. Motion about more detailed Euro financial documents, motion about updating Euro position guideline, motion about IPSF Euro team meeting, motion about IPSF Euro newsletter, motion about policy and advocacy campaign, motion about the new bi-month updates template. All of those against? All of those who abstain? All of those who are in favor? Okay, so okay. With 0 votes against, 0 votes abstaining, 20 votes, 12 votes for, motion carried unanimously. Now we can continue with the next motion. Next motion is the 15th European Regional Assembly proposed to remove the following motions from the IPSF Euro Motions and Force and Working Statements 2025-26. Motion about European Regional Assembly, motion about Euro financial motion about Euro annual financial report to be submitted after the end of financial year. Motion about a more detailed regional working group external representation report regarding the financial aspects. Motion about the annual financial report in line with the financial year. Motion about IPSF Euro Fund. Motion to actively promote and advocate for the policy topic. Motion to archive all the events related receipts and invoices of EuRAs. Motion about the guidelines for steps if no member organization visits the host EuRAs. Motion about policy topics for the policy sessions 2025-2026. And motion about IPSF Euro reimbursements. I open the floor for discussion. I see no new comments. Therefore, I close the floor for discussion. Now we can proceed to voting for the motion which raises the 15th European Regional Assembly proposed to remove the following motions from the IPSF motions and force and working savings 2025-26, motion about the European Regional Assembly, motion about the EuRA annual financial report to be submitted after the end of the financial year, motion about a more detailed RWG external representation report regarding the financial aspects, motion about annual financial report in line with the financial year, motion about IPSF EuRA Fund, motion to actively promote the advocate for the policy topic, motion to archive all the events related receipts and invoices of EuRAs, motion about guidelines for SEPs if no member organization to host the EuRAs, motion about the policy topics for the policy sessions 2025-2026, motion about the IPSF EuRA reimbursements. All of those against? All of those who abstain? All of those are in favor? With 0 votes against, 0 votes abstained, 12 votes for, motion carried unanimously. Now, as mandated from the 14th European Regional Assembly, we also have the financial brainstorming session at the AOB of the Regional Assembly. Because we have no other motions. So I can also share the motion. Yeah. As carried at the 14th European Regional Assembly, we should have a brainstorming session on finances to the AOB of the Regional Assembly. This session should involve the member organizations of IPSF. The main purpose of the session shall be ideate to develop funding strategies and reflect on the current budget allocation practices. This shall be achieved immediately and shall be reviewed at the 16th European Regional Assembly. So now I will open the floor for discussion for the brainstorming session. Any comment from APEF Portugal?
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Margarida, APEF Portugal. APEF had an idea that we even discussed for it to be a motion, but then we thought it would raise a lot of different opinions. So we wanted to discuss it here during the brainstorming session. The idea would be, we believe that many countries have events called or similar to expo farms. We saw that in previous minutes from other RAs that some other countries mentioned it, and we weren't aware there was a reality also in other countries. So an idea for the sponsors of IPSF Euro would be to create some kind of ambassadors for every country. It would be, for an example, would be an open call for students to be able to apply and represent IPSF Euro in these events. For IPSF Euro to be able to be present and contact directly possible sponsorships for future mandates. The main problem that we saw in this idea would be that maybe the national associations that would also be present in these events would be directly competing with IPSF Euro for the same sponsorships. I'd like to ask everyone if the idea is clear and if this is a reality in your country and if you think this would be feasible.
Thank you, Margarita. So it's green not red light. Like I said, you can put the thumbs up or down, or you can also raise a new comment. We have a new comment from BPHD Germany.
Yeah, Omin BPH Germany. So we could discuss Margarita's point because we were going to start a new point. So I'll just drop it to discuss Margarita's point first.
Thank you. So do we have any comments regarding the Margarita's suggestion? Any direct comments? Direct comment from BPHD Germany.
Yes, thank you for sure. Omin BPH Germany. Yes, we also have an expo farm in Germany, in which we take part in as BPHG. For us, it's a rather big event, and we do come in contact with a lot of different stakeholders in healthcare in Germany. But we also see the problem with competition. I think I speak for all of us here if that we have ties first to our MOs and then IPSF. So potential sponsors going to IPSF and not our MO could become problematic. Therefore, for this idea to work, we do think it's a pretty solid idea. IPSF would have to send an independent delegation, perhaps, to such events that is not tied to an MO. That is the way that we would see how it works. But I think, or we think that generally the problem always arises within the European region that we are competing with both MOs, EPSA, and either like even IPSF Global. So, which is also where our point was going to. But first, this. Thank you.
Do we have any other direct comments? If not, we can move on to new comment from BPHD Germany.
Thank you for the floor. Omid BPHD Germany. Yes, so we had a different idea concerning finding sponsors for IPSF Euro because, as we had already alluded to, we have the problem of competing with EPSA, which is active in the European region. And we are also somewhat competing with IPS Global because the differentiating factor between us and EPSA is that we have a global attribute to our organization, which then arises the question why sponsor IPSF Euro or not IPSF Global. So our idea was that perhaps we could get a special arrangement for the European region. We think it would be justified, but that depends on what other regions have to say about it. That sponsors that IPS Euro is able to attribute to IPSF Global, not sponsoring IPSF Euro as such, but sponsoring IPSF Global, would still allow IPSF Global to give us a provision in the budget for the sponsor that we get. So say we find a sponsor in the IPSF Euro region that is willing to give 2,000 euros to IPSF Global and wants to cooperate with IPSF Global, then IPSF Euro gets a provision from that budget for finding this sponsor within the Euro region, say 25% or something like that. Because otherwise we are having trouble to finding sponsors that are solely willing to sponsor IPSF Euro as such. The problem would be that we would have to justify this in front of the GA and also justify it to other regions why we are getting an increased budget from IPSF Global as opposed to the 2,100 euros that we are getting right now. But I suppose that's what brainstorming is for, right? Thank you.
Do we have any other new comments or direct comments? Direct from APF Portugal.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Margarida APF Portugal. Thank you for this idea. We believe that it would be an idea with a lot of potential. But the question you raised about how would other regions feel about it, I believe it would be a real concern. But still, this could be feasible if all of the regions had the same. If what you propose for the European region would be done the same way with all other regions. So whenever one region finds a potential sponsor for IPSF Global, then they will get a percentage of that sponsor on their budgets.
Direct comment from IPSF President.
Manchuri IPSF President, I would like to provide a context of how the sponsorship structure works within IPSF. As the global office, the chairperson of external relation together with his team and the other exco work together on finding sponsors for the global office together with sending it past to the regional offices, which means in this context, I just would like to let you know that whenever it comes to the regional offices, regional can retain your sponsorship and utilize and use it within your regional office without having to share it to the global office. By all means, the current context is that global office do extend any sponsorship secured and pass it through regional office directly. However, with this current conversation that that's happening, I do see that you are trying to propose that the regional office find a sponsor and send it to global as well, or other regional offices as well. So in that case, just would like to clarify and let everyone know that there has already been a practice to share the sponsorships cross regional offices as well as from global office is very obligatory for us to pass sponsorship to regional office and or regional events and World Congress events that is hosted in specific country of the year. I could give you an example of how last year when we got the sponsorship from IFPMA, we secured around 10,000 euro, if I'm not mistaken. 6,000 euro were allocated to AFPS in Africa and 3,000 euro, sorry, not last year, 2 years ago back in South Korea. And then 3,000 euro were towards the 3,000 to 4,000 euro were towards the South Korean reception committee. This was because it was communicated among EXCO as well as the regional chairpersons who are presented in the executive committee to allocate the budget. So in this case, if you are considering any additional money that has to be raised, or when it comes to the sponsorship itself, I would like also you to maybe check how the sponsorship would work. Would it be towards the regional office, or would it be towards the event? Because the event themselves do also have the obligation to pay back to IPSF after they got their sponsorship through their income for the regional symposium, TDC, or LIT, for those who sign a contract with IPSF as well. So yes, that's all I would like to provide a context for now, that global office work to support regional office with currently there's no obligation for regional office to support the global office or the other regions. Yeah, thank you.
Do I have any other new comments? A new comment from KPSV, the Netherlands.
Thank you for the floor. Marlon, KPC the Netherlands. So one idea we've been thinking about a little bit stems from the global, what was the Global Career Fair exhibition. What could become part of the IPSF events, or in this case, the European Regional Symposium, is to have a career fair curated by IPSF EuRA, where potential sponsors could showcase their work, like it did during the previous IPSF years, because we did feel like it is a really good showcase and could attract some good sponsors, but maybe you have like a different view on how that could work or if that is feasible. Because right now, when it came to the global career fair, it might felt a little bit more abstract than to have it on a European or regional scale. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. New comment from BPHD Germany.
Thank you for the floor. Omid, BPHD Germany. Also, we were also actually thinking in that direction of KNPC in the Netherlands, although not that fleshed out already in form of a career fair. I think that's a fairly good idea because we were also thinking in the direction of hosting another, we'll just say small scale event compared to a regional symposium, but like another event, say in the direction of either team weekend, career fair, that kind of stuff, that would attract sponsors and also attract revenue for participants or from participants, which we allow to go into the IPSF EuRA budget. The question would arise with who would organize this event and the workload that comes with it. But if kept at a low scale, but still quite valuable, alluding to, for example, the team weekend, this could prove as another source of revenue. Thank you.
Do I have any new comments or direct comments? Direct from IPSF EuRA.
And thank you for the floor. Should be IPSF EuRA. In the strategic annex for EuRA, I added a bit about a careers fair to like encourage like advice from alumni. So I think maybe obviously it will be a working in progress to maybe do another careers fair in the future, just because of the feedback we got from the previous experiences from the Global Careers Fair. So yes.
Do I have any new comments? A new comment from BPHD Germany.
Thank you for the floor. Omid, BPHD Germany. This is a point rather going towards what Ms. Manchery has said about the reallocation of funds within IPSF Global to its regions, since we're not really in the clear that this was an existing structure and is actually an interesting such structure, but we were wondering how has this proven for IPSF EuRA in practice? Has this led to actual actual additional funds going into our budget? Since we have not heard about it up to this point, and is there's or does the RWG think that there is a way that we can utilize this structure within IPSF to increase our budget for the regional office? Thank you.
Yeah, I will need a minute to discuss with the RWG. Okay, so as a chairperson, so I discussed with the region working group. So there are two practices. One is that if the global has a contact for the region that works for the sponsorship, they forward the contact to us directly. For example, Julian, who is the chairperson of external relations this year, he forwarded us some opportunities to contact. Or if the IPSF Global secures a big budget, big sponsorship, they basically ask anyone who needs it, and it is discussed with the EXCO, but it didn't happen for the past 2 years, or it didn't happen for this mandate either. So yeah, that's the current practice. Thank you. Clarification from KPSB the Netherlands, or was it deleted? Okay. Do we have any other new comments? If none, then I will close the floor for discussion. Since this was the motion about brainstorming, we won't have the voting for this motion. And now this concludes our agenda points for the Regional Assembly, but since this is the AOB session of the Regional Assembly, which means any other business, now I will open the floor for discussion for any points can be raised during the AOB. New comment from KPSV the Netherlands.
Thank you for the floor, Marlon, KPC Netherlands. So, because this is an online session, it might not be as interactive as we had hoped. But we wanted to ask one final time to the delegates present to share their thoughts on the draft version of the IPSF EPSA MOU. Of course, we're going to have it approved during the IPSF General Assembly, but as it concerns our region most, we were thinking that it would be good to have a bit of a more internal discussion first about what we thought about the draft version, if there's any other comments that we wanted to provide like through this way. So yeah, it would be probably a good opportunity to do it now. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlon, for the comment. Do we have any directs regarding the Marlon's comment regarding the EPSA MOU? I see none. Yeah, a direct comment from KPSV the Netherlands.
Thank you for the floor. Marlon KPC in the Netherlands. I'll just direct myself. So one final point that we did want to discuss was the consensus on sharing the minutes of each other's assemblies. So right now, a consensus was reached that it would not be necessarily or necessary or beneficial to share the minutes because it concerns internal affairs a lot. But I believe that APF Portugal also made a point about this, that it might be nice to still have a little bit of a summary provided so you have an idea of the type of discussion that went on during the assembly in case a point could be like taken sorry, I lose my words a little bit. But if you want to take over a point from the other association. So we were wondering what the RWG thinks about that. So we have a bit of an idea of how their stance on this is. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlon. I can give a point of information on this. So we decided to remove the minutes, like stated in the email, because it has lots of internal stuff. Also, it has the financial discussions. And if we would like to share that, then it would be more burden to each secretary portfolio just to go remove the financial parts and the internal parts regarding the minutes. That's why we decided to just to leave it out. And like as we discussed with EPSA when we got the question, we also decided not to share again. But since we also have time for Jay, I can also bring it up to EPSA once more. What's their final opinion? But yeah, that's why we decided to remove the minutes. Direct comment from APF Portugal.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Margarida APF Portugal. Yes, we would like to agree with KPSV. We understand that it could be very hard to create minutes or documents that don't display confidential information, but as an OD and as a contact person that is not involved with EPSA at the moment, it would be very beneficial for our ODs if they were able to access some of EPSA's, for example, to understand whether a specific topic has already been discussed, because the coexistence of these two associations in Europe could sometimes lead to overlap. So that's our main reason for agreeing with this.
Thank you for the comment. I have a clarification. So do you mean to share the like summary with the OODs or like EPSA GA folders with the OODs?
Sorry, I wasn't aware if I was supposed to raise a point again.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Thank you for the floor, Margarida APF Portugal. Honestly, right now, I can't really tell because since we were not prepared to be discussing this topic right now, we would like to have maybe a bit of time to reconsider it before expressing our opinion to the fullest right now. So I was rereading our notes on the memorandum of understanding, and what we were talking about at the time was just the minutes.
So point of information from IPSF president.
Manchuri IPSF president, I would like to provide the part of information that the information on the minutes are usually available on the public records of the assembly sessions. For instance, this current session is being recorded on YouTube, which means that all the information provided is highly accessible through hopefully both organization archive, and therefore the information can be accessible already. Thank you.
Shit from Campus Sweden, Netherlands.
Okay, this is like a fully bullshit comment, but one thing we might have to reconsider in that case is having the delegation of EPSA leave the room during financial discussions because they can turn on the live stream and see all the financials anyways. So, eh.
And yeah. Do I have any new comments or direct comments? I see none. Therefore, I will close the floor for discussion. Now we can move on to the last motion, which raises the 15th European Regional Assembly, concludes the 15th European Regional Assembly. I open the floor for discussion. I see no new comments. Therefore, I will close the floor for discussion. Now we can proceed to voting for the motion which raises the 15th European Regional Assembly, concludes the 15th European Regional Assembly. All of those against? All of those abstain? All of those in favor? With 0 votes against, 0 votes abstained, 12 votes for, motion carried unanimously. Now, I will give a procedural motion to close the suspending orders. Do I have a proposer proposed by KMPC, the Netherlands. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by BPHC Germany. All of those against? All of those in favor? With 0 votes against, 12 votes for, motion carried unanimously. Now we will move on to the roll call.
Thank you, Osva, for the floor. 1 second. AFUB Austria, CPSA Croatia, FIPSA Finland, ANEP France, BPHD Germany, KNPC the Netherlands, NOPSA Norway, APEF Portugal, NEPSR Serbia, the SHIFISA Slovenia, TPAYC Turkey, and BPSA United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Okay, so this concludes the end of the Regional Assembly. Thank everyone who joined in Oslo or who joined here online. And yeah, thanks to all of the scrutineers and meeting secretaries and the motions committee for their effort for the Regional Assembly. So yeah, we will take a picture. So please open your camera so I can see all of these beautiful faces one last time. Okay. So I can't get everyone in like one screenshot, so I will take multiple. So yeah, Hassan, if you can take everyone in one at that.
I think mine's over 2 screens. This one. Oh no, it's fine. Mine's over 2 screens.
Okay. Okay, so I can just take it. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1. Oh wait. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. In okay. In 3, 2, 1. Hassan, can you do it? I'm really struggling here.
No, it's okay. I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. And then 3, 2, 1. And last one. 3, 2, 1. All done. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. And bye-bye.
Bye.